So, welcome back to map 2 of the ClanBase Nations Cup 2012 Instagib CTF Grand Final, Sweden versus Poland. We've just seen Sweden take the first map, Spider Crossings, 1-0 in caps. They did outfrag their opponents, Poland, pretty significantly. But we're now on Shining Forces, and it might be a little bit of a different story here. It's not quite as aim-heavy at the midfield. I mean,
because you've got those spawns in the area just past the red, where I'm pretty sure on this map the enemies can spawn just outside your own base.
Yeah, they can. So it's going to mix it up a little bit. There's no locking down of mid. I really like the fact that it is quite a harsh split between the upper and lower levels. Almost like on most maps, the left and right side, you might say.
You've got to be spot on with communication and, you know, identifying the route the flag carrier is going to take, and, you know, you always got to be wary that if they can change their route up, they can go from that high route to low route, and, you know, if you're caught out of position, you have very little chance on this map, I believe, to get back in the correct position and actually intercept.
I actually think this is going to be a much more interesting CTF map for Instagib, especially when I've played it. I expected it to be quite low scoring, but actually most of the games are pretty high scoring. Because although you can have a base defender sitting pretty deep, they still have to hit their shots, and everybody knows where they're going to be pretty much. So they can get taken out. They can spawn, you know, the other side of the map. So it's not as simple as the previous map, I don't think. Go over the teams quickly. Krindy, Zan, Nace, Phoenix for Sweden remains the same. Misset, Vey, Frakov and Wendell for Poland. Now, sorry, I didn't actually establish for the VOD either that I'm Disrepute, and I'm joined by Vor. See, that's again, you've messed it up, Vor. You haven't said hello, even though you'd already spoken.
Hello.
So it's kind of irrelevant.
Exactly, don't worry about it.
So on this map, Vor, I mean, you talked about on the previous map how you thought you should just have a rolling attack, everybody moving in, aggressively trying to capture, sort of dominate mid maybe first, then move forwards. But on this map, because you can spawn and your opponent's side, and it's a lot harder to keep a track of where the flag carriers are going. I think there's maybe an argument to say you need a fixed defender.
Yeah, I believe a fixed defender would work well on this map, but then I would have just a three-man attack, because, you know, I do believe that Instagib needs to be played very aggressively to have a chance of making caps. You know, if you're at least 2 people in the enemy base, then that's a threat, but, you know, one player, you know, that attack can just be brought to an end in one shot. So I always believe that the numbers advantage is important to make use of in Instagib, a lot more than it would be in regular CTF. Just because, you know, one shot and your attack is over, unless you've got numbers.
So here we go, first flag pickup is by Poland. Frakov has control. We've got a teammate in support as well. Now traditionally, you would think maybe...
well, yeah,
wow,
one
that's
player in base
play,
to
yeah.
make sure it's safe.
Oh my god, it's not going to be safe though, it's actually going to be turned right as they get into base. I think it was actually a little bit of a mistake, considering the amount of time they took and the amount of frags that we saw on the score. I think he really shouldn't have gone up that main bounce pad. Should have stayed low.
Especially when, you know, he's only got one teammate in base, and the other 2 were low with him, escorting the flag. I mean, you don't know what's going on high in your base.
No, I mean, I felt as that run, as he got to the end, that maybe
I was kind of worried
risky,
because,
yeah.
you know, you only saw, I think they only picked up 2 frags escorting the flag low. So, you know, you've got to worry, where are those other 2 players?
There's a suggestion that the previous map Sweden had an advantage on because they knew the map maybe a lot better than Poland. Obviously we know a lot of them, very old school Quake 3 players play that map a lot, and in Quake Live it's a relatively recent addition, Spider Crossings, and hasn't featured only in the knockout stages of this cup, which has only been 2 other games, quarters and semis. So whether or not Poland were that well practiced on it or not, don't know, because the most important thing, of course, is knowing the respawns. Here we go, Crindy picking this one. Of course, this is another old school map though. Oh, gets caught out. Tried to hide and dodge the bounce pad attack. Didn't quite work out on that occasion. In my experience playing this map as well, is very important. Once you get the flag, to have that team support moving with you. It's not really a solo map kind of run map, because whichever route you go, they can see relatively soon that you're not either up or low, and then they can move out pretty quick to the opposite one to block you off in what are essentially just corridors. So it is a little bit risky without support to try and make that run.
Yeah, because very hard, obviously, it's impossible to dodge while strafe jumping, and if you don't have support, you can't really feel safe strafe jumping at any point without support.
Crindy doing a great job there. He just delayed getting killed there, allowed us teammate to support him. In fact, I think there's 2 Swedish players over there now, one just remaining low as we see. There is quite a useful way of attacking, is sending in somebody high, just making sure they don't get shot, but they are distracting that back defender, and then you can move in maybe 2 if you go for a 3-man attack in the low route. Got that bounce pad at the back. As long as they're split, I mean, they're only going to get 1 shot in, maybe kill 1 of them. And also you just clip the edge, that bounce pad clipping edge trick, so you don't just float in the air. Often that really does catch people out.
Yeah, it's something it's still underutilized. I mean, wasn't a feature that was present in Quake 3.
Crindy didn't use it there, and you're just floating in the air. I'm going to cycle away from him, in fact. Let's have a look at Zan for a little while, though. It seems like he's a defender. Actually, Vey just moving in there to attack. Might get a flag pickup, who knows. To Phoenix's point of view, trying to rush in high. Nice railing, very nice. Oh, good finish as well. Frakov picking up that red flag. It's always dangerous as well when, say for example, Phoenix there, I mean, he didn't get the opportunity, but say he clears the base, he could pick up the flag. He just sees his own team's flag picked up, I don't know, 5 seconds before he picks up the flag. What do you do in that situation? It's very difficult, because especially in Instagame, it's very easy that you might die. Do you try and rush out to mid, try and get the flag to your side of the base, or do you just sort of hold it up in their base, wait for some kind of clever ambush on their flag carrier? Do you tell your team to maybe try and support you with the flag moving out? Do you try and say recover your flag? There's a lot of variables going on there, and it all sort of depends on the timing of the pickup. It's not as simple as saying, oh well, he picked up the flag and then 5 seconds later I picked up, because 5 seconds he could be across half the map with a team supporting him, and if you pick that route, you're dead.
It is such a difficult decision as well. I mean, it's a decision that's present in normal CTF, but the difference in normal CTF is obviously that it's not one shot and you're dead. I mean, you've always got a chance to survive, against people who are looking for you. But in iCTF, if you miss a single shot, that could be the end of your flag run, and the other team might cap. So, a hell of a lot of pressure on you in a cross-cap situation.
This is the hardcore mode, I think, for.
In some ways, it is, isn't it?
It is. I mean, you make one mistake, you're dead. Simple as.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to look at it that way. But it's also the most simplistic at the same time.
Well, I always think like the more simplistic in terms of what you can do actually makes, well, I guess your options, what you can actually do, means it can be more refined. So there's more focus on those core elements. For example, in normal CTF, obviously you would want to have good rail, but you wouldn't be using it all the time, so it's not as important to have dominant rail with your aim. Same with your dodging. Your dodging, you might not focus on dodging so much, or the way you support your teammates. Here we go, as Poland have got across to the other side of the map. Might want to go to the back low. Yeah, you've got to be careful. And here we go. Should be alright here. Decides not to clip it, but it's a capture for Poland. They are 1-0 to the good, and they might even get a back-to-back here. Sweden don't think they're in position defensively. There's one player jumps into the wall. Got to be careful of the spawners around this midfield area.
Yeah, there's always the danger, obviously. Mace would have spawned low outside Poland's base.
I tell you what, that is my biggest fear when I play Instagib. As soon as you get to a midfield and it's, you know, it's quiet. Yeah.
It's obviously quiet.
Yeah.
You know something's wrong.
You've got no teammates supporting you. You're thinking, oh god, I'm going to be spawned on in a second. And that's where you need to know the spawn points. Oh, unlucky there. Got 2 good frags. There was just a 3rd Swedish player defensively, and then the spawner. Again, unlucky, but it means he can push on. I think Vey actually rang the wrong way there, didn't he? Why has he gone back to his base with the rest of his team? Is it an option? They play really defensive now? Hold out this 1-0?
Well, I did say that on the first map, but you know, it's interesting to see what changes after 1 cap, because obviously for Sweden, you know, they have to go maybe more aggressive, but Poland, they have the option. They can just turtle up and sit in their base if they wanted to. Now, they aren't looking like they're going to do that, but it's always there as an option. It'd be very, I don't know, lame in some ways, but then again, it's a competition. You know, you do what it takes to win
within the rules.
Within the rules.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Quake and, well, a lot of sports, obviously, and games is about the mind. So all the mind games is why somebody like Fatality perhaps was just so good, because he would win the mind games against people. He'd frustrate them in his playstyle, wind them up in his actions towards them, you might say, and was always believing himself. And it's the same with anybody at any level. A lot of it is about mind games. I mean, all these players, there's not going to be much between them technically. They all know what they're doing. It's about how they react in a pressure situation, like a grand final of a Nations Cup. We see Vey just moving in here, almost getting in on the flag there. You see some good play moving across the map there, following Zan now. Looks like he's going to play defensively. I'm going to cycle around a bit. Frakov, he's in a defensive position. Might be moving forward soon. Takes out Krindy in this lower midfield. There's Nace moving in high. He's probably got the best rail on the server today. 61% as well. Don't know how he missed that shot. And this is going to be a test for Sweden. Obviously they weren't behind on the first map. They got an early cap.
A very early cap. Pretty much their first attack.
It was in the first minute, so
yeah,
capped on 58 seconds, I think. So ridiculously early, and they were able to just take it at their pace, do what they wanted to do. Now they're behind. They're going to have to try and force it and get a cap. Obviously it goes in Poland's favour that they can just sit back and defend if they so wish. Again, not using that clipping. It just surprises me going up the bounce pad. They're not using that clipping.
Or maybe they all expect each other to use it, so they catch each other out by not. Although I don't think so.
I mean, when you're trying to line up a shot, I mean, it might not be the first thing on your mind, I guess. There's Zan covering the spawns. He knows what he's doing. 59% rail as well. Good couple of frags there before he was taken out by a fresh spawner that he didn't seem to expect on that occasion. So I mean, just as we've seen in a few of the accuracies, he's got 2 very high aimers in the Swedish team on Zan and Nace. But sometimes, not so much on this map actually, that can be to your detriment.
Nace, I think. Oh no,
Grindy's got to try and find that flag. I was going to say something about flag carriers and supporters, is that you have to, as a supporter, especially in Instagib, follow your flag carrier. If you go ahead, you're in the wrong position. You need to follow your flag carrier, because if he gets shot, he'll die in 1 hit, and he will drop the flag, and you need to be there to pick that flag up. If you've gone ahead of him, nobody's going to be aiming for you. They're going to be aiming for the flag carrier. You can't block the shot, so you need to be following the flag carrier. Oh my god, missed that bounce pad rail. Frakov's in a great position here to really cause some trouble, although that 3rd defender coming in. But that's
of course the problem is, if you're ahead of your carrier, you then have to do movement back towards the flag, and
predictable movement as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's very predictable because
you're travelling in the wrong direction, presumably.
Towards the flag. Yeah, exactly. You've got to turn around. You can't really strafe jump towards the flag, so you've got to like do slow walks with dodges.
Oh, here we go. Here's Zan with a pickup, moving out low. Needs some team support. He does have one supporting him low. Got to be careful with the spawns here. Oh my god, come on, he's taken the safer route right to the back. This is going to be the equalising cap unless something special from Poland. There we go. Good capture, good team capture. You see, the actual positions of the Swedish players there were really important to that capture.
Yeah, they had one covering low into the base, one covering high into the base, and
interesting lag by Frakov.
Very much impossible to get in.
Faye grabs this one, gets caught going low by Zana, though he doesn't actually get the frag. Crindy has to come in and support. And let's cycle around a little bit. Have a look at some of the accuracies. Frakov hitting 41%, Nace 61%, Phoenix 39%, Wendell 56%. That's pretty decent high accuracy as well. Anything around 50% is good in Instagib.
I'd say it's very good.
Yeah, you hit one, you miss one. I mean, a lot of the time you'll get most players in the 40s at a high level. Some of the attackers are often in the 30s. Although really, ideally, if you want a really strong team, that you can't really afford that. But it is just the way it works out sometimes. Anything above 50, though, I mean, especially 60, that's kind of crazy. So, Wendell's 12 impresses there, 55%. Crindy, 38%. Missick, 43%. Missing a lot of shots, though, bringing them down another percentage. Vey 39%, needs to be hitting a little bit higher, I'd say. Zan there with 57%, so we can say that Sweden have got the aim advantage.
Yeah, that was very noticeable on CP9, and so I do think this map is slightly more favourable to not more favourable for Poland, but it's a better map. Yeah, it's a better map for Poland to play, even though apparently they didn't pick this.
Well, I'm only basing that on the fact that Sweden voted this map on really quickly as well. So maybe they'd already agreed the maps, and so Sweden are just good at typing in map names and voting. Now,
yeah, that's certainly possible.
The accuracy isn't exactly clear because we see Nace. Yeah, they did. Who did pick this? Obviously Nace and what's his name? Zan, sorry. We've seen a lot of spawn kills. Oh, Poland did pick this. Okay. Well, yeah, that makes much more sense then. Nace and Zan, we've seen a lot of spawn kills, so their accuracies isn't as simple to go through. I mean, spawn kills in themselves, they're not really adding anything to it. They might frustrate your opponent, delay them a little bit. Here we go, Sweden moved in with 3 players here. Phoenix getting the pickup. Good cover here. This is really good. Got to be careful he doesn't get ambushed straight away. Good frag on Frakov. Needs a bit of support. There is a cross still. In fact, look at that. Poland are going to go out. Here's Nace going to intercept that flag. Wendell gets the pick and he's going to move out. Looks like Poland actually might take this. That's a great rail across the map. Looks like Crindy's going to return. Wow. Well, that was the best bit of play we've seen in the 2 maps so far. Across still for a brief second. But as I was saying,
always exciting across steals, obviously just because of a one-hit kill factor. But you know, if there's any complaint, it's that there isn't enough flag action, maybe.
Yeah, we've seen a lot more.
Because it is so hard at
first
this
map,
level.
probably. Well, 9-9 pickups. We've seen a lot more time though. In fact, 1 minute 25, a lot more time for Poland than the 50 seconds of Sweden. Over half a minute more. So anyway, I was going to say just about the frags and the accuracy. It's not as simple as just saying, oh, that's going to have a massive benefit, because if they're just getting a lot of spawn killers, it's going to translate to they're going to have a higher accuracy and higher frags, but that isn't really contributing to actually getting caps. So it's not quite as simple. In fact, if we look at some of the frags here, Nace 34 and Zan 42 in those defensive positions where they're aiming at the spawners. Phoenix is probably more impressive in terms of net +4 in a way, because he's going very offensive. Frakov moving in high here. Missed that shot on Zan. Crindy with the pickup. It's again a cross-steal situation. Ooh, Crindy might have dummied the defender there. I'm not sure. Anyway, there's going to be a timeout. Is it, no, it's over here. What's the command? Follow flag carrier?
I don't know this. I'm not a CTFer.
I don't know. It always does this to me. Somebody, I'm sure, will tell me. But yeah, cross-steel situation. Let's see who had an issue. One of the Polish players. Oh, a Firefox 11 available update. Great. So it's been downloading this whole time in the background. Oh, Spec FC, sorry. Yeah. Not follow, I don't know why I thought follow. Spec. Let's see. Okay, good. Hopefully that'll work then. Missick just gonna rejoin any second. This cross-steel situation could be very interesting. Vey's got the flag. Luckily he wasn't the one to lag out. Let's check out players. Vey is number 3. So let's have a look around. Well, he's low. He's a little bit further. Actually, yeah, he's much further on, isn't he? Because he's in his own side of the base. So this could be potentially a Poland cap. No, that's a great recovery. Well, recovery from both teams there. Right at the death though. Phoenix picking up the flag again for Sweden. Frackle for Poland.
Very tense situation. Could be the game decider.
Well, looking at the time as well, 3 minutes left. Here we go. They could encounter each other here. There's the flag. Sweden's flag might be recovered. Why doesn't follow flag carrier work? There we go. It didn't work, that bind. Sweden do get the capture, and this is very bad news for Poland. They did lose that first map, of course. What do you do in this situation? Just Sweden. You've got 2 minutes 20 left for. Do you...
Sorry, Sweden. What do they do?
Yeah.
Well, hold on to the lead this. Any means necessary.
Go plus death. Here we go. Quindy gets the flag. He's... Wow, look at that spawn. That's really messed him over. Oh my god. So that spawn's helped him. I mean, I'd be tempted to say just 4 man, just sit back in defense, put too high, too low. Because you are risking it, you keep pushing on the flag. I mean, you want to put pressure on, but at the same time, there we go, Vey just getting the pick briefly. They're going to be getting a little bit desperate now, Poland. Phoenix picking up that flag. Those rail shots missed though. And he's potentially out low. I think he tried to dummy off and it worked pretty well. Oh my god, great shot by Vey. Phoenix almost getting a great spawn in. Perfect timing. He was spawned on himself. 1 minute, 10 seconds left for Sweden to hold this out or indeed cap another and secure the victory. Poland need that one cap to bring it back. Take it to a third map. Well, take it to overtime first. We've got a minute left. Tense times. Here we go. Vey with the pickup. He's doing the right thing, just delaying that movement out, I think. But no team's there to support him. Phoenix comes in, one shot, bam, it's return. It's going to require something really special now. Sweden are going to be sitting back with a lot of players. All of Poland need to push out. All of them need to go and just take a risk.
Yeah, it's now or never. Nothing to lose.
Zan just jumping around at midfield. Look at this. Sweden looks like going to secure this one out. 20 seconds left. No flag pickup yet. It's not going to happen, is it? Sweden are going to be... I take it's best of 3. Nations Cup 2012 Instagib CTF champions. 2-1 on that second map. Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, they came down from 1 behind on that map, so they showed that they can still do it, even though they didn't take the early advantage like on the first map. So impressive play by Sweden. You know, Poland certainly showed that they weren't pushovers. This certainly wasn't an easy game.
And we all got a taster of just how amazing Instagib CTF could be. Let's get it on at LAN. Let's scrap all the other modes. And let's just have CTF only. Instagib CTF.
Yes, agreed, definitely. That's the way. The future.